So the latest rumor that has been going around the web today in relation to gaming news is that a new Pokemon multiplayer game is supposed to be coming out sometime in the future, and it's something that's just a rumor. It hasn't been verified by Pokemon Company or Nintendo or anything like that. But it turns out that Game Freak and ILCA are collaborating to make a new battle-focused multiplayer Pokemon game. And right now, the code name is Synapse, and pretty much like this is a game that it's inspired by Splatoon, but it's not going to be a MMO. And I believe the game was in development since 2019, and that's something I read on comicbook.com. And I don't know, like when it comes down to like new video games and stuff like that, um, video game companies do not like their stuff being leaked and anything like that. They normally try to scrub it from the web before before it goes viral. And I'm assuming that's the case with this game because I believe some images or some footage had surfaced online and they got taken down like really fast. And as far as it being a potentially an online multiplayer, video game, that's something that we're still in the dark about, and we have no idea when to expect this game to come out. I don't see it coming out in 2025 because that would be way too early, and we still don't know a lot of details. But I guess it depends on how far in development the game is currently in. Because if it's been in development since 2019, then you would think they've made a considerable amount of progress since then. And it's funny because this game is supposed to be giving off like it's supposed to give off like Gale of Darkness and Pokemon Coliseum type vibes, but it's not going to be anything like those two games. And the fact that it's inspired by Splatoon is kind of funny because you look at the whole thing with Power World. Obviously, Power World was inspired by Pokemon, and once it blew up and it made enough money and started making millions, all of a sudden, Pokemon, I think Nintendo came after them, and it was like, you know what, pay up, to start intellectual property. And let's just hope that this new Pokemon game is it's not something that highly resembles anything else outside of Nintendo and what they own or anything like that, or they could be facing the same problem in the future. But Pokemon and Nintendo have always been synonymous with one another since like the late '90s, and and I honestly feel like it's quite possible that this whole thing with Power World and the controversy surrounding, the intellectual property and them filing a suit against them, that's something that can negatively affect the popularity of this game. And don't get me wrong, Pokemon is a household name. It's been around for more than 2 decades. It's sold millions, and I believe the franchise is worth more than a billion, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know. I mean, a lot of people had soured on Nintendo and they've soured on Pokemon because of what they did with Power World and all that. And on one hand, I don't blame them for taking the action that they took, but on the other hand, it's going to make a lot of gamers look at them a certain type of way. And I don't know. I mean, maybe this new game, it could be something we've never seen in a Pokemon video game before. And it could be something brand new and innovative because the Pokemon series, for the most part, seems like it's been like pretty stale. It's been like the same thing but different. I do feel like Pokemon being in a different genre other than the traditional RPG, ball catching, uh, type of gameplay. That's something that needs to change, because like yeah, you battle monsters and you capture them and all that stuff and collect badges or whatever. It's the same thing but different, and a lot of people feel like it's time for a change in terms of possibly genre and gameplay mechanics and all that other stuff. And we might get it with this new multiplayer Pokemon game in the future. And as it currently stands, like the Pokemon game that everybody's looking forward to is coming out next year, and that's Pokemon Legends Z through A, and that's coming out sometime. I'm not exactly sure when, but we do know it's coming out next year, and it's a game I believe was supposed to come out sometime this year, but I believe it was pushed back or something like that. And I know that game is going to be something that a lot of people will be stoked about because the trailer was dope, and a lot of the content that's going to be in Street 3 is something that's going to make it a possible contender for Video Game of the Year, at least in relation to the Nintendo Switch. And a lot of people are surprised that Nintendo's not saving that particular game for the Switch 2 because a lot of people are expecting the Switch 2 to be released in 2025, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I do expect the Switch 2 to at least be introduced next year. But as far as this new multiplayer Pokemon game is concerned, I honestly want to hear more about it in the future, and hopefully we'll get more details about this sometime during the first part of 2025.